Well, why don't you tell us a couple of phrases so we can hear what the language is like?
What is the most important thing in life that you would if you didn't have? What would be the most important thing? If someone asked you, what was the most important thing other than life?
Other than basic survival, things like food and water.
Yeah.
Friendship, let's say.
Okay, that's you. In my language, the basic foundation of anything is your health. Okay. You can have money, you can have cars, but if you don't have your health, no matter how rich you are, okay, your health is the most important part of the thing, other than breathing and other than life. Okay. We have in our society people who are billionaires and die at early ages. Got people who our society say are poor, lived well to be over 100. Mm-hmm. Okay. And the basis of and my language is based upon things that are essential. And to me, health is the most essential part of life, other than life itself. Breathing. No matter how much money you got in your pocket, if I put you in a room with no air, after a certain amount of time, you will expire because of lack of oxygen.
Right. So how does that manifest itself or come out in the language?
Okay, now, if I was to come to you and I was to say hello, in my language, the word hello doesn't exist. The main thing I want to know is your health. So I would say hoi, say.
Say hoi, say.
Yeah, which means how is your health, but translated into the English language, it means how are you?
Okay, but it has a question about your health.
Yeah, if you translate it into the English language, it means health. But in reality, I'm asking you how are you. It means basically I'm asking you how is your health? How are you?
Okay. Say hoi, say.
Yes, that would be how are you if I see you. And basically I'm asking you how is your health?
And how would I answer you if I was doing well?
Okay, you would say sai hois. Sai hois.
Sai hois?
Yes, okay. Which means I feel great.
I feel great?
Yes.
Okay. And what are some other sort of basic conversational phrases?
The main thing in my language is, like I said, I build my characters on a positive level. Another thing is health would be if I want to know if I wanted to ask you how did you feel, I would change it slightly. I would say hoi, say sui.
Say hoi, say sui.
Yeah. How do you feel? I mean, now instead of saying how are you, how do you feel? And you would say, sai hoi su.
Sai.
I'm healthy.
Sai.
Ahoi su.
Ahoi su.
Which means I'm healthy.
I'm healthy.
See the slightly difference in the moderation of the word. You know.
And you're still, is this language still like a work in progress? You're still working on it?
Well, all languages have to work in progress. Like I said before, no language can stop, because if it did, it would stagnate. It have to evolve. Certain words that I had in the past, they changed their meaning to not as far as change the meaning as far as, but I had to change the meaning to relate to certain ideals in the world.
So the language is developing.
Well, it's not. The language is, the foundation of the language is set. Mm-hmm. The vocabulary, like any other languages, have to grow. But I always maintain the building of my words based upon my characters. If I try to go outside my characters, my language becomes stilted, because it becomes, I say, corrupt with other ideals, because it has to build, same way English has its own grammar. It can't use the grammar of German. It can't use the grammar of French. It can't use the grammar of Russia. It has to maintain its foundation of what English is built upon. Okay.
Now, what about things like English has borrowed a lot of words from French, like say the word garage, which was originally a French word.
Well,
does Lesuhorve, has it borrowed words from
the English language? The Lesuhorve. I try to create my own roots, my own way, my own ideals, my own concepts. I try not to borrow other words. in making my final decision on how the word is going to be.
I see.
So what I would do is, if I want to make up a word, I resort back to my characters. Now, sometimes it takes me maybe a minute to translate the way I want the word to be spoken inside the language. A week, maybe a day, maybe a month. But once I decide what I want it to be, that would be the word or the ideal, or the word for the ideal that I'm speaking.
So the dictionary is still growing, basically.
Like, all languages grow every day. Okay, there's right now, at the present time, there's being new discoveries. Okay, there's a lot of jargon in other languages and other fields that I'm trying to eliminate, but I have to learn these jargons to expand in communicating with every person in any trade. Okay, whether it be medical, whether it be the courtroom, my vocabulary has to touch somewhere in any one or every one of those trades. Some trades are simpler because they have less technology. Okay, if you're dealing with a person working the bank, it's simpler than you dealing with a person who's working with the human body.
Mm-hmm. Where do you see the future of the language? Where do you see it going? Where would you like to see it go?
I like to see the language go to where, well, it's recognized as a language. I want to be recognized as a beautiful language, very well constructed, very easy to learn. I want people to enjoy learning it and say, hey, I like that. I like that language. And I want people to decide where my language fit. As far as does it sound like this? Is it related to this? Does it sound like this? That's how language grows. Not by the individual who created it or speaking it. Is the other individuals outside the individual who created the language or who speaks the language.
Have you studied and been influenced by some of the other modern languages that people have created, like Esperanto, or actually modern Hebrew, as spoken in Israel, is also recreated from a language that had died?
Well, see, think about recreating a language. In a sense, Latin has been recreated through French, through Spanish and Roman and other Romance languages, but because the different times and the different way of living styles, the languages cannot be the same. Okay, it went off. Now, my language will be spoken the way I want it to be spoken. In X amount of years, after I'm long gone deceased, it's going to change. People are going to, instead of saying, say "Hoi say," they may say "Hoi say," or some other shortened form of that phrase.
Right.
But I have a way I want it to be taught, the way to be spoken. People have different dialects, people have different accents, so that also affects the way the language is spoken also. And as you asked me before, language change. No language is going to stay the same. If every language stayed the same, we would be speaking the same way our ancestors spoke 1,000 years ago.
Right.
Okay. So no language can stay the same. You ever look at a picture or a photograph, or you wore something, say 20 years ago, and at the time you was wearing the outfit, you say, "Oh man, that look good." And now you look at that same picture and say, "Man, I wore that clown suit." Mm-hmm.